Hello runners, this is Matt Fitzgerald for Competitor.com, and this is another Competitor Q&A. I'm here with world champion sprinter and ASICS-sponsored athlete, Lolo Jones. Lolo, thanks for being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So a question I'd like to ask you to start with is, in the sprinting that you do, flexibility is at a premium, range of motion, you do a lot of work to develop that. Tell me a little bit about how you do it, and what do you think maybe other types of runners, distance runners, could benefit from, doing a little more stretching? They don't like to stretch too much, and maybe they could benefit from doing a little bit of what you do.
That's a great question. Well, the good thing is sprinters don't like to stretch either, and so we kind of have like a little trick. We don't do a lot of static stretching, and by static I mean we don't do the stretches where you hold for 30 seconds. We do a lot of dynamic stretches where we move and there's movement. So like leg swings or just hip flexors, just a range of things that you're always constantly moving, but at the same time, you're stretching, so it's not as boring.
Right. Also, in something that's particular to the sprint events is that execution is at a premium. One little mistake and it could all fall apart, whereas in distance events, it's more about you pace yourself, you try to be mentally tough. What do you do when the gun goes off, to try and just execute and have a mistake-free race? Are there any tricks to that?
Definitely. Just thinking on a couple of things that you can focus on or that you've been working on in training, and that really helps keep your mind free from distractions or overthinking. So, like you said, distance runners, we don't have to pace ourselves, but we have to hit everything dead on. And so to keep my body in that state of frame, I'll focus on 2 to 3 things in that race.
Right, and they're like technique-oriented cues?
They're very technique-wise, like just specific details like keeping my arm tight or, snapping my leg down or, just stupid things a hurdler would think about. We're not thinking about, I just hit my first mile and, whatever. It's small, mundane things. Right.
And finally, I know growing up you had some difficult times. Your family had to move around a lot. You didn't always have a proper home to stay in. And I'm curious to know how those formative experiences affect the way that you were motivated to train and compete now, and also your work ethic.
Well, it's similar because it's kind of like my job. I'm living out of a bag, and so it prepared me definitely for, traveling all around the world in different places. And just the motivation, I think it just, not so much for the motivation, but it helped me learn to adapt quickly and change with the environment. And when something throws you a curveball to, adjust and be able to, still pick yourself up and do something great. And so, when you're running, every race is different. There's always a surprise. There's always either it's a weather condition or you're not feeling well or there's something crazy that happens in the race and you have to adjust. And that's the great thing I think that, life has taught me, just adjusting to the unexpected.
Well, Lolo, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
This is Matt Fitzgerald for Competitor.com. This has been another Competitor Q&A.